Because Mark Stumpf-Allen is in the house, and Mark, Courtney Terry, our news anchor, just said there's an interesting smell in studio.
Sorry, I did bathe this morning.
I know you did, but you also essentially, I mean, this is the smell of saving the planet. Am I right?
Absolutely.
And this is what you do for a living with the City of Edmonton.
Yeah, I'm a waste reduction specialist with the city's Waste Management Services group. So I'm a resource to Edmontonians who want to learn to compost and grass cycle, be a little bit healthier and more green in their garden.
Okay, my grandpa Rudy, may he rest in peace, composted for years, and I was always proud of him because I felt like it was kind of a hippie move, and I liked that he was doing it, but now everybody's composting. How come?
Well, because we know that it's a great way to reduce waste, first of all, and about 60% of what you throw out doesn't need to be trucked around and processed at the Waste Management Center. It can just stay in your yard where it can go back into the soil, turn your soil into nice, rich growing medium, make your lawns greener, make your flowers bloom bigger, make your veggies taste great.
Isn't it interesting, as humans, we're always on board to save the planet, but when there's an added benefit, it becomes even more enticing, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so how do we get started here?
Well, you're going to need four things: greens, browns, water, air. And if you know the greens, browns, water, air, that's all you need to know about composting.
Okay.
The greens and the browns are your organic waste. Greens, mostly your kitchen scraps, your fruit and your vegetable scraps.
Okay, cabbage, we've got watermelon rinds here,
All
with
kinds
banana
of good fruit.
peels.
Yeah, and this in your kitchen collection bucket is where you're going to encounter maybe some smells. If you're only taking that out once a week or so, then down at the bottom you're going to get some...
So you'd recommend just have a bucket that you can throw the stuff in and then seal it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it should have a nice little lid on it. And if you want, you can throw some browns in there as well. Some shredded leaves are great. Anything that's dead and dry and no longer has the juicy fruit goodness in it, or the vegetable juices, is going to be really easy to maintain, and those are the browns.
The idea is that you don't want it rotting. You don't want some rancid, rotting, wet mess.
Some people think you just pile it up and forget about it. Well, that's only the first part. That's a good start, but you want to balance those greens and browns about equal amounts of both, so that your greens stay nice and fresh, they don't start to rot, and so your browns will add lots of carbon and speed up the decomposition process.
Now, composting, I've always known it to be an outdoor activity, but you were mentioning that this is something people can have inside their homes as well?
Absolutely. There's lots of different ways to do it. Find the way that works best for you.
Okay.
I've got an outdoor bin here, the big black one.
This is the big guy here.
But here is a very special little indoor composter that I have in my office, and I take around to all kinds of schools.
Really?
Yeah, all kinds of people have dug in there and had some fun. As you can see, it's filled with the brown material, shredded paper and autumn leaves. That's stuff that mimics the natural layer of the forest floor.
Okay, so it's okay to have some newspaper in there, some shredded newspaper.
Yeah, anything that comes from dead plant material.
Okay. And
then down below is where the decomposition happens. That's where all of our
look at this. Look at these
red wigglers.
This is a living exhibit.
Yeah. In
Mark,
here you'll find all kinds
Look.
of bacteria, fungi, actinomycetes. There's a little tiny, looks like fruit fly that's come out of our banana peel. If you freeze your banana peels, then you won't get those little fruit flies in there.
Oh my gosh.
But
now, is this a good thing?
Well, decomposition is a good thing. It's really up to the homeowner or the office to decide how much of this they want going on.
Okay, now these red wigglers, you call them, these worms, they're integral to the process. You need these guys?
You really should have these indoors because they work really fast. It's
where
their
do
job
people
to just
find these worms? How do you acquire these worms?
There are a number of retailers in the Edmonton area. We have a list on our website. If you want to go to edmonton.ca/compost, you will find all kinds of resources there. Printed materials that we can send you if you call 311, and a list of the worm suppliers is kept up to date on that list.
There you have it. Okay, so this is the indoor compost, and then of course you've got the outdoor compost as well. Is there an advantage or a detriment to either approach?
No, it's really whatever works for you. You have to find the method that works best for your family, otherwise it's no fun.
Okay, so if somebody was in a condo or an apartment, this might work better, and that's just fine for them, for their planters and their boxes?
The compost that it produces is the finest compost that you can get. These little wigglers do a great job.
So the wigglers in the indoor compost is going to give you better quality than the outdoor compost?
Yes.
But the outdoor compost, you can get the quantity. You can do enough for your entire garden.
Definitely, and it's outside. It's easy to maintain. It's if you just keep it moist with lots of a little bit of water, keep it about as damp as a wrung-out sponge.
Yeah.
Occasionally fluff it up with
a rake or a hoe or whatever?
Even a hockey stick, whatever you've got. Just something to get in there and poke some holes in, lift up the material, let out the bad air, let in the good air, and it'll keep fresh and working fast.
Mark, if there's one thing that we respect here on BT, it is passion, and you've got it in spades. Thanks for joining us. I don't care that your hand's dirty. Mine are too. You can learn more, as Mark mentioned, about composting by checking out the City of Edmonton's website. That's edmonton.ca, or call 311. We'll be back with more. No recycled content in the news. We promise you that at 6:27 Thursday morning.
Hi there. Well, she's America's favorite zany redhead. Deborah Messing is here today. The Smash star talks about the impact of Will and Grace on America's growing acceptance of gay marriage, plus her secret dreams of being a Broadway baby. And later, we've got some amazing reunion stories. You'll meet a man who found his biological mother 40 years after she gave him up for adoption. You won't want to miss their surprise reunion, so tune in